Hey, welcome guys. Now, this weekend I've been in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been working an event called LOWVELO. Now, LOWVELO is actually a mixture of two different words. The first one is low, which means low country, because this Charleston is at sea level. So this is all low-lying country area. The second word is velo, which is actually is French for the word bike, bicycle. So it's low country bicycle, which is a low country bike ride. Now, what LOWVELO does is they raise funds for cancer research. Now, back in 2019, when LOWVELO first started, they only had, it's a bike ride. So they had an 80 mile, 50 mile, and a 25 miler bike ride. Nowadays, this time we have a 80, a 50, a 24, a 14, and then a 7 mile bike ride. And the participants actually raise money for what level they want to do. They could be simple as $300 for a 7 mile bike ride, or for the 80, they have to raise, I believe it's $1,500 to do the 80 mile bike ride. So depending on your fitness level and your goals, this bike ride is phenomenal for both you exercising and also raising awareness for cancer research. And last year, LOWVELO actually raised $650,000, and every bit of that went to cancer research. And there are two starting areas, depending on which mileage you're doing. If you're doing the 14 or the 7 mile, you actually start on the Isle of the Palms. You actually, is an island out here, and basically if you do 7 miles, you do 1 loop. If you're doing the 14, you do 2 loops around the island. If you're doing the 80, the 50, or the 24, you actually start at a further away location and you pedal into Isle of the Palms. That Isle of the Palms is the finishing location. And if you're doing the far away one, you start at Brittle Bank and you work your way in. And where I'm standing right now, if you notice the sign behind me, it says 80 milers turn left, 50 milers turn left. So those people have already started about 30 minutes ago. I'm probably around mile marker 20, around mile marker 20. So they'd be getting to me here probably within the next 15 minutes. And after they pass the 80 and the 50, where they turn left right here, I had to pull these signs down, and that way the 24s will go further down. They have to actually take a right. So I will make sure that these people make their turn, take the signs down, move further on down, in order to make sure that the other people don't see these signs. And for the last 3 days, my team has been doing all the routing and the signs for this whole event. So I got a couple of clips I'm going to show you about us, print up the sign, see what I've been doing, because we want to make sure that everyone don't get lost. So every turn that we do, we usually put up anywhere between 4 signs to, I think we actually had one that had a couple that had like 12 signs, because it's kind of where we had to veer off to the right. Now the finish line on Isle of the Palms is going to be like a big block party. They got live music, food, drinks, a party atmosphere. So after we get through this route, I want to take you right to the finish line. That way you can see people finishing. Hopefully we get back in time with people finishing. Probably not. Probably only see anybody finishing, because we have to go and we have to clean up the route before we get there. Now this is a bicycle event. It's not a race, however. It's more like a pedal with a purpose, focusing on 3 main areas. First one is raising awareness. Second one is community engagement, raising funds for a good cause, raising awareness. We have a lot of signs out there, like honk if you hate cancer, thank you for sharing the road. And here's a look at some of the signs we had to put up. So just think, every turn, every corner has several of these signs just all over the place. So hopefully no one will get lost. All right, so let's get into putting some signs up. Now, for context, we actually put up about 200, I put about 250 signs. All total, between the 4 crews, we had a total of probably 1,500 signs we put up. I wouldn't sped this up a little bit. That way you wouldn't be watching me do all this in slow-mo. Now this little stapler gun you see me using is called a hammer stapler, and it makes really fast putting signs up, especially on these poles.
On the brick.
Yeah, but it takes a minute to keep it under control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks good.
You don't keep it under control. That's a head. Okay, that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking there's a line, but that's
on the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good job of trimming there. What if it's hollow through there? What if like this? It might have to be, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So the previous clip, we were just so amazed how the shrub was going up the wall. All right, back to it. So here we are, downtown Charleston. That's the beautiful buildings that were around, and also the horse-drawn carriages were everywhere this day because it was on a Friday. And man, oh man, I got to tell you, my fingers were getting a little sore after putting all these signs up, all 200 signs with no gloves on. You just kind of, the zip ties kind of rub you raw. Now with the 4 signs right here, this is one of the places where you have to veer to the right. So we want to make sure that no one got lost, especially in this real tricky situation. So that's why you saw 4 signs on H-frames all pointing to the right. This is before. We walked up a little bit ahead to go ahead and put a turn ahead sign with an arrow veering to the right. That way people would, when they're coming off the hill before, they would see this and know, hey, there's a turn ahead. And then you have all those confirmation arrows like, yes, turn here, turn here. Now, this roundabout wasn't really a roundabout. It was more of a 4-way intersection that someone thought would be a good idea, I guess, to do some work or some maintenance. So they had to put these little things to step on. And we decorated it really nice. We had cones, had flash, caution sign. We put out some spray paint. But in the end, it didn't really matter because someone came and stole everything here. The next day, we had to go back.
That looks really good from here.
And make it just as pretty as this is. But that is the nature of the business. Every day you have to ride this route to make sure no signs are stolen and redo everything that people messed up. Because, yes, there are people who out there will turn a sign just to mess with riders. And you have to go the next day and make sure you clean all that up. All right, these are the 50-mile riders. These are the leaders. As you can see, it's not really a race, more of a ride. And we have cops stopped in traffic on the outside of the screen you can't see. In a second, I'll pan over so you can see the cops. And they're saying thank you for, me and the cops. And I'm not going to sit here all day and record every one because, after all, we did have over 1,500 people ride this event.
Good morning. Morning, guys. Morning.
So the cops are stopping the cars and letting the bicyclists through. As you see, there was the cops.
Morning. Morning. See, right here, doing the signs.
All right, let's continue the fast forwarding. If I didn't, we'll be sitting here for 10 minutes just watching these bicyclists. And I thought this is a pretty cool view, foot view. And I gotta tell you, this was a perfect weather to be riding in. It was cool, sunny, and the sun felt really good. And now this is me after about 45 minutes after those bikers went through. I got the okay clear to start taking down the signs. So let's do it. Now I'm putting up the signs for the 24 milers. And this is what I did for over 200 signs, as you see. Just walk up, zip tie around the sign. And here I am. Routing the 24 milers down the side street. Really cool suspension
Generate by
bridge to
AI.
go over. And to the right is Patriots Point. This has the aircraft carrier, the USS Yorktown, and also the US Laffey and the Clamagore. Pretty cool place to go if you're ever in town.
All the way back along course to.
And this is how I picked up the signs. Just went up to it and clipped off the signs, got back in the truck, and leaving no trash behind is the biggest part. Every zip tie you had to cut, you had to make sure you pick up. Leave no trace. Now the straightaway here, I had about 10 of these signs to go pick up. Pretty much just stop, grab, throw them back to the truck, and go.
Leaving rest 4 to catch up with traffic.
Every 200 signs I put out, I had to pick back up. This one here was an A-frame. It has a sandbag in the middle. So I got out, got the sandbag, put it back in the truck, while my driver, David, collapsed the sign and threw it back in the truck. And here's the first of the signs you see me rip down that had these staples. Just grab it and rip it off. And then what you don't see off the screen here is me having to pick out all those staples. I had a cup sitting in the cup holder. I would pick up the staples and put them in a cup. Because you can't leave the staples in the sign, because later on you'll see that we had to get our signs, count them, and wrap them up in a set of 25. Put some saran wrap. This fort you see as I'm going by is Fort Moultrie, which is literally right across from Fort Sumter, where the start of the Civil War happened. This was a little visitor that when I picked the sign and clipped it off of the stop sign, there was a frog on the back of it. So we had to take a picture of it and send it along this way. This is the time lapse of us cleaning out the back of the truck. We had a lot of signs in the back of the truck, in the bed of the truck. There's a lot. H-frames, arrows, caution bicyclists on road. And we had to, the yellow signs, we had to count to a stack of 25. You saw me right there. I'm using some saran wrap and securing them together. That way they're a lot easier to count of a stack of 25. Alrighty, so we just got our truck all the signs all sorted, and we're counting everything. We're waiting on 2 more trucks to come in right now before we can finally get a final count on everything. But since we're waiting on the trucks, I figured I would walk around this block party and show you a little bit about it. And one thing you have to remember is at the block party, we were literally the last people there because we had to clean up the course. So a lot of people were leaving at this point. All right, here's the food. Pulled pork, smoked brisket, pulled chicken. I think I'm gonna need some pulled pork. Some good old collard greens. So right now I'm at the finish line where the people finish at. So they come from this direction right here. They go down the chutes and they finish right underneath, right there. I heard there was a guy fixing to come down the chute, but I don't know where he's at. So, but that's where the finish line is. Woo, right there. Time to take off the. So in here you can see that we're trying to take off the stickers we had to put on the trucks at the first. This routing and sign sticker is giving me a little problems. Left a little residue. I had to go get the Goo Gone and wipe it off. So you have to sticker up the truck that way, so because the police know that you're coming, and these signs let you have access to a lot of places that are being shut down, like road closures and things like that. And also lets you know that this vehicle stops a lot.